You must be aware of the fact that tea and coffee were not originally consumed in India. Tea was introduced by the British in 19th century and coffee was introduced by a Sufi saint named Baba Budan in 1670. So tea and coffee are basically flavored non-alcoholic beverages, and there are 7 types of teas, which are white, black, green, yellow, oolong, puree and herbal, and there are 3 types of coffees, that is dark brown, yellow and green. So which one is better? Let's find it out through this video. To start with, tea is basically a solution and a suspension both. Tea has multiple constituents. The major of it is tannin, and along with it there is presence of theophylline, theobromine, which acts as stimulants, and the astringency in the tea is produced by bioactive element polyphenols or EGCG compounds. So when it comes to polyphenols or EGCG compound, here comes the question of green tea versus black tea. So in between those, green tea is marketed as one heavenly solution for losing your weight, but the fact is both of them are same. The only difference between is that green tea is less fermented as compared to black tea, and due to which the proportion of EGCG compounds is slightly higher, which makes it a little bit more beneficial for shrinking your fat cells. So technically both of them are same. So along with it, now let's see what are the additional properties or what are the additional benefits of drinking tea. Tea has multiple antioxidant properties, which is going to produce some anti-inflammatory effects, anti-carcinogenic effects. It is also going to be very beneficial for those who have type 2 diabetes. It is going to be beneficial for those who have arthritis, because it is going to reduce the inflammation in the body. Along with it, it is going to produce good effects for prevention of cardiovascular diseases and stroke. So coffee majorly contains caffeine. Along with it, it contains vitamin B2 and magnesium and some plant chemicals like chlorogenic acid and cunic acid. Coffee also has good antioxidant properties. Also, it is going to be very helpful for those who are having diabetes, basically type 2 diabetes, because it increases the insulin secretion and also increases glucose metabolism due to presence of magnesium. Due to the presence of antioxidants like polyphenols also in coffee, it is going to produce good anti-inflammatory effects. So, and it is going to be specially acting on your neurological system. And those who have neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, coffee has seemed to produce some good beneficial effects on the nervous system. Also, coffee acts as a stimulant, due to which you remain awake, you are attentive, you are alert, and also your mood gets elevated. A multiple meta-analysis of 36 studies, both men and women, showed that coffee drinkers are at 15% less risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. Having said all this, modern science also has to say something about excessive drinking of tea and coffee. So if you consume tea in excessive amounts, the tannin present in the tea is not going to absorb iron, and it may make you prone to develop anemia. Also, tannin causes discoloration of your teeth and making it yellow. Now speaking of coffee, caffeine acts like a mild drug. Though when it is taken, it is going to produce instant energy, but after some time your energy levels are going to crash down. So coffee is going to be increasing the blood pressure and heart rate. So you should be having this thing in your mind, that excessive consumption of coffee is going to increase your blood pressure and heart rate. Along with it, coffee is more addictive as compared to tea, because the caffeine present in it is going to tell your brain that you should be drinking coffee again and again. So basically, many people has a tendency to say that I cannot start my day without having my cup of coffee, or some people say that I cannot start my work without my coffee mug on my desk. So this is because they are slightly getting addicted to the caffeine which is present in coffee. So these are the things that you should be remembering. Also, one more effect to add on is that tea or coffee, when taken in excessive amounts, are going to disrupt your digestion also. It may cause you GERD or acid reflux. So what is the recommended quantity in which you should be consuming tea or coffee daily? So it is recommended that you can take tea or coffee 3 to 5 small standard cups daily. But a thing to be added in this, that it is not advisable to take tea or coffee in the morning in empty stomach. You can take it with the breakfast or lunch. Also, tea and coffee shouldn't be consumed after 5 p.m. because it is going to disrupt your sleep or it may cause sleep deprivation. So, modern science has to say that taking tea or coffee is good as long you don't overdo it. If you overdo it, it is going to produce some detrimental effects on your health. And also, one more thing to be kept in mind, that tea and coffee should be taken at the right time and keeping check at your sugar servings. So friends, if you find this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to Travel Talks. I'll keep coming up with some amazing videos, amazing recipes. Till then, keep watching, stay tuned. Bye.